Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Okay. Today we're going to uncover the different aspects of mechanical engineering. We're going to talk a little bit more about our program, some special features, unique features about mechanical engineering, and as well as we will also explore and showcase a lot of opportunities that may await our views. Okay, so I'm going to explain more about our program structures. You can see that our program will run for 8 trimesters. Okay, by the way, 1 trimester is about 4 months, right? So per year you have 3 trimesters, right? So in total we have 8 trimesters that runs over to almost 3 years. Okay, so to explain a little bit more details about the structure of our program, in year 1, we will mostly cover the fundamentals, right? So we have some core modules that cover fundamentals. From year 2 onwards, then you will cover more advanced modules, okay? We're going to highlight a few highlights of our programs, all right? For the details of the modules, you can scan the QR code here to have a look at the website, right? But I'm going to give you some highlights. For example, at the end of year 1, okay, you will be able to travel to Glasgow, okay, for the overseas immersion program for about 3 weeks, okay? And later, Professor Ian Taylor will talk a little bit more about that. In year 2, right, I'll just jump straight to here. At the end of year 2, you will then be starting your integrated work study program for 2 trimesters, and that's here as well as here. Okay, so what do you mean by integrated work study program? Later on, I will share a little bit more details, but for integrated work study program is something like internship, where you will work in a particular company for a period of 8 months, right? So you work like an engineer, okay, you will try to apply whatever you learn in school in your workplace, okay? And over here, you can see that on the second half of your integrated work study program, you'll be beginning on your capstone projects. Capstone project is like final year projects, right? So you will have capstone project for 2 trimesters from here to here. And why do we start your capstone project at the second half of your integrated work study program? Is because we want you to work on real problems, industry problem. Okay, so that's where you will actually be really strongly encouraged to look for a project in the company that you're working on, okay, so that you can be working on the real world problem, okay? So, and that's where at the end of this, you'll graduate. Okay, a few more highlights is the specializations. You can see that we have a specialization from year 2 onwards on here, here, and here. And later, Prof. Arturo will give a little more details about the specialization, what type of specialization we have, and the modules that we will cover. All right. From year 2, try 2 onwards as well, you have something called the unrestricted electives. Right. Just take note that you can see there's a 2 times here, and there's another unrestricted electives here. So in total, you will have 3 unrestricted elective space. Okay, in other words, in these 3 unrestricted elective space, you can choose different modules to study, right? And later on, I will come back and to share a little bit more about what type of module you can choose under these 3 unrestricted elective space. All right. So in year 3, try 3 is where you will be graduated. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, pass the time to Prof. Arturo to talk a little bit more about specialization.
The aerospace specialization is actually new, new in the sense that it was a program and now it's part of the mechanical engineering program. So I'm going to talk more about that one because many of our prospects don't know maybe that we have aerospace now. So what we're going to teach here is, for example, flight mechanics. We'll teach about how the mechanics of the flying vehicles. Propulsion, why? Because you need to propel these vehicles. Yes, so then you have here some propellers, open rotors or ducted ones. So the things we learned about that. We also going to teach about guidance, navigation, and control so that the drones are able to navigate themselves. Yeah. UAV project. So I mentioned that all the specializations have these design projects, right? So this one is very important. Here I have a nice picture of, and this is from the aerospace engineering program. So I just mentioned now it's becoming part of the mechanical engineering program, but we have here a nice picture of Prof. Henrik, who is sitting here. And so here he has some students, some projects that, by the way, this one is just in our booth. So if you want to find more details about these projects, you can go and ask him. I'm honored to present one of his projects, which I personally like it. Why? Because it looks like a simple drone, right? But one of the issues with drones is that the batteries don't last longer. So how to solve this problem? So Prof. Henrik and his students come up with some idea of how to do it. And I'm just going to click again and show you a video. So, it's working? Yeah, so this is actually in the current facilities. So there's a student flying this drone, and the drone is getting close to this wall. And what it's going to do is has a magnet, yeah? And it's a simple solution, right? So the magnet will actually maintain the drone there. And that means that they can switch off the motors and not use the batteries, and then stay there and do inspections of buildings, yeah? Simple solution, which is engineering, right?
So I mentioned just now that there are 3 spaces on unrestricted electives. So under these 3 spaces, you are able to choose what modules you want to study. So at this moment, we have this list of modules that you can choose from to fill in that 3 space, right? So it actually contains modules that is very mechanical, like IoT, all right, professional engineering, data analytics. It also contains some newer modules, such as healthcare engineering and biodesign, that if you're very interested to to work in the healthcare industries and you want to know how you can design equipment that is related to healthcare industry, there's some standard you have to follow, right? Then this particular module will actually teach you in more detail. And there's also 3 modules on environmental sustainability, right, which currently is quite in demand, all right? So you do not need to, not necessary to choose all 3 sustainability modules. You can pick any one of them to fill in the 3 slots. However, if you choose to use up all your 3 slots under environmental sustainability, if you complete all these 3, then you will be given another certificate called minor in environmental sustainability, right? Which is, we know that it's currently in demand, okay, in the market, in the industries. So if you can cover all 3 modules, okay, and you pass, of course, then you will get another certificate in minor in environmental sustainability. And to get minor in environmental sustainability, basically there are some requirement, right? The requirement is that you have to meet all 3 box over here to get this particular certificate. So that 3 module that I showed you just now is these 3 modules here, right? And you also need to have 2 discipline-specific modules that has environmental sustainability embedded on it. Okay, and that we have already taken care of. Okay, so we already embedded environmental sustainability content to some of the modules that you will be taking anyway, right? So by completing the whole program, you will definitely cover this one. And lastly, you will need to attend 3 seminars or workshops that is involving environmental sustainability that will accumulate total hours of 10 hours, right? Total of 10 hours. And once you meet all these 3 requirements, you will be able to be awarded the minor in environmental sustainability. In other words, at the end of your degree program, you get your degree plus this particular certificate.
So the Overseas Immersion Programme, it's now at the end of the first year of the degree programmes that we offer jointly with SIT. It's a 3-week programme, and it's largely a design exercise. It's interdisciplinary, so it's not just mechanical students. It's civil engineers that you work with, also computer science as well. It will be collaborative with them. And we get you working in groups on a specific project. And one of the things that students found last year is that after the first couple of days, they thought, we don't know what we're supposed to be doing. And we said, yes, that's the point. Here's the requirement of what we've set you, a task. We're not going to tell you what the answer is, what the final outcome is. We're not even going to tell you how to do it. That's what you have to work out as engineers. We want you to be creative. And that's a big part of our degrees in Glasgow. Creativity. Thinking what the problem remit is. Thinking up solutions which could be a solution, and then assessing them using your knowledge to assess, is this a feasible solution? And if it is a feasible solution, how do you implement it? Because it's interdisciplinary, it requires the skills of civil engineers, the mechanicals, and some of the aero students as well. So it's a great opportunity to actually do something which is a little bit different, challenge you a little bit, work with students you've maybe not met before. You're also in Glasgow. Student life in Glasgow, get to know the campus, get to know a different city. It's a great opportunity to explore Glasgow, and some people who come over and visit, they take a little bit of time just before and just after to maybe travel a little bit in different places in Europe. The key thing to remember is this bit's fun, but you're here for you will be going for a course, so that is important as well to remember. It's not just fun, but we want you to have fun. It is a course that you're leading, and it's part of your degree. It's part of a credit-bearing course for your degree.